Discomfort is the price of growth. Regret is the price of staying the same. Every worthwhile achievement in life comes with a cost, and more often than not, that cost is discomfort. It is the ache in your muscles after a workout, the nervous energy before delivering a presentation, the awkward silence when you are learning to speak up for yourself. Discomfort signals that you are stretching beyond your limits, breaking away from old habits, and venturing into territory where growth can actually happen. Yet most people avoid it, mistaking comfort for safety and stability. But comfort is not the same as safety. It is the silent trap that keeps you exactly where you are while life moves forward without you. When you decide to pursue change, you invite resistance, both from within and from the world around you. Your mind will try to keep you in the familiar, whispering that it is too hard, too risky, too uncertain. The people around you may question your choices, not because they want you to fail, but because your change challenges their own comfort. This is the crossroads where most people turn back. They choose comfort, telling themselves it is just for now, but just for now becomes years, and the years become regret. Regret has a different texture from discomfort. Discomfort is sharp but temporary. It fades once you adapt and grow stronger. Regret, on the other hand, is dull and persistent, a constant reminder of opportunities missed, dreams postponed, and potential unused. It shows up in quiet moments when you wonder what might have been if you had acted sooner. It eats away at your sense of fulfillment, not in sudden blows, but in steady erosion. The pain of regret doesn't motivate, it paralyzes. It doesn't push you forward, it chains you to the past. Growth, however, demands that you accept discomfort as part of the process. There is no shortcut around it. You cannot get stronger without lifting something heavy. You cannot develop confidence without walking into situations where you feel unsure. You cannot build resilience without facing challenges that threaten to break you. In every case, the discomfort you feel is the ticket you pay to enter the arena of progress. Those who understand this embrace discomfort, not because they enjoy it, but because they know what lies on the other side. Think of the first time you tried something completely new. Maybe it was learning a skill, starting a business, or speaking in front of strangers. Your hands might have shaken, your voice might have trembled, and your heart might have raced. You probably felt unprepared, even though you had prepared as much as you could. But once you pushed through that moment, something shifted. You realized you could survive it. You might not have been perfect, but you were stronger than before. That is the nature of discomfort. It diminishes the moment you face it, but it grows larger the longer you avoid it. Staying the same often feels deceptively easy in the moment. You don't have to take risks, face fears, or endure uncertainty, but the trade-off is invisible at first. You give away pieces of your potential, bit by bit, in exchange for a fleeting sense of ease. Over time, that ease becomes stagnation, and stagnation becomes regret. And when you finally look back, you see the gap between where you are and where you could have been, a gap that might have been closed had you chosen the temporary pain of growth over the enduring pain of staying the same. The truth is, you are going to feel discomfort either way. The question is whether that discomfort will be the kind that builds you or the kind that breaks you. Growth discomfort is active. It pushes you forward, sharpens your abilities, and widens your perspective. Regret discomfort is passive. It holds you in place, narrows your vision, and erodes your belief in yourself. One is an investment, the other is a debt. You decide which one to pay, but you cannot choose to pay neither. Life demands payment, and the currency is discomfort. If you refuse the price of growth, you automatically accept the price of regret. It is not a matter of escaping discomfort. It is a matter of choosing the kind you can live with. Those who move forward understand that the sting of today's effort is far lighter than the weight of tomorrow's remorse. They see discomfort not as an obstacle, but as a signal that they are on the right path, a sign that they are trading something small and temporary for something greater and lasting. And the sooner you accept this, The sooner you can start paying the right price, short-term pain leads to long-term gain, while short-term comfort leads to long-term loss. The moments that test your patience, challenge your resolve, and stretch your limits are often the very moments that shape your future. It's human nature to avoid pain, to sidestep inconvenience, to choose the path that feels easier right now. But the road that's smooth at the start is often the one that becomes hardest to walk later, because it offers no lessons, no preparation, and no growth. The road with short-term pain may be steep and rocky at first, but each step strengthens you, equips you, and prepares you for what lies ahead. Pain in the short term often disguises itself as inconvenience, fear, or sacrifice. It can be waking up early to work on your goals when your body wants to sleep, choosing to eat clean when the craving for junk food is strong, or setting aside leisure to study or practice. None of these choices feel comfortable in the moment. They all require a willingness to push through resistance, but these small sacrifices compound over time, creating momentum that builds into results you can see and feel. The short-term pain becomes a memory, while the rewards remain for years. On the other hand, short-term comfort is seductive. It's the extra hour of sleep instead of exercise, the indulgence in distractions instead of focused work, the decision to delay instead of starting now. These choices feel harmless in the moment, even justified. You tell yourself you deserve a break, that you'll get to it later, that one time won't matter. But small comforts repeated daily create habits, and habits create a lifestyle. A lifestyle built on avoiding challenge eventually leads to limitations you didn't choose consciously, but accepted silently. Long-term loss rarely announces itself in dramatic fashion. It creeps in slowly, disguised as missed opportunities, reduced energy, lower confidence, and a shrinking sense of possibility. You wake up one day and realize the gap between your current reality and your potential has grown wider. You notice others who endured the discomfort you avoided are now enjoying the rewards you wanted. This is the hidden cost of short-term comfort. It trades the future you could have built for the ease of today. Short-term pain, by contrast, works like an investment. The earlier you start paying into it, the more it compounds. Every time you endure a moment of discomfort in pursuit of a greater goal, you are planting seeds that will bear fruit later. It's not always easy to see the connection between today's sacrifice and tomorrow's reward, but it's always there. The early morning runs eventually bring stamina. The hours of practice eventually bring skill. The moments you push past fear eventually bring courage. These are the gains that only reveal themselves to those willing to pay the price in advance. The key is understanding that the pain of effort is temporary. Your muscles heal, your fear fades, your mind adapts. What once felt difficult becomes routine. This is how progress works. The hill you struggled to climb last month becomes the warm-up for a bigger challenge next month. But none of that happens if you avoid the hill entirely. Short-term comfort robs you of the adaptation process. It leaves you untested, unprepared, and underdeveloped. Life will always offer both options. The comfort of now or the comfort of later, but you cannot have both. Choosing the comfort of now often guarantees discomfort later when you face the consequences of inaction. Choosing the discomfort of now often guarantees comfort later when you reap the rewards of persistence. The irony is that both paths contain discomfort, but only one path gives you something valuable in exchange for it. When you embrace short-term pain, you take control of your future. You accept that the work you do today is an investment in a better tomorrow. When you avoid it, you surrender control to time, circumstance, and regret. In the end, the choice is not about avoiding discomfort, but about deciding when you will feel it. Now, when it can serve you, or later, when it will punish you. The ones who achieve lasting success are those who understand that temporary sacrifices are not losses but down payments on the life they want to live. and they are willing to endure the brief sting of effort for the lasting satisfaction of achievement. Failure is progress in disguise. Standing still guarantees nothing changes. Most people treat failure like a stop sign, a signal to turn back and retreat to safety. But failure is rarely the end of the road. More often, it is the beginning of understanding. Every attempt that falls short reveals something about what works and what doesn't, about your strengths and weaknesses, about the strategies that need refining. Each misstep provides information you couldn't have gained by simply thinking, planning, or waiting. Failure is not a wall, it is a mirror reflecting what you need to improve in order to succeed. Standing still, on the other hand, offers no such clarity. It may feel safe to avoid risks, to delay action until you are certain of the outcome, to keep everything within the boundaries of what you know. But in doing so, you eliminate the possibility of discovery. You never find out what you're capable of, because you never give yourself the chance to test those limits. The world changes around you, opportunities pass by, and time keeps moving, but you remain in the same place, convincing yourself that you are avoiding pain when in reality you are avoiding growth. Failure has a hidden advantage. It moves you forward. Even when the results are not what you hoped for, you are still further along than if you had never tried. You gain experience, perspective, and resilience. You learn how to adapt, how to think creatively, how to recover from setbacks. These are skills that cannot be learned in theory. They are forged in the process of trying, stumbling, and trying again. Every successful person you admire has walked through failure more times than they can count, but they understood that each fall was a step toward mastery. The fear of failure often comes from the belief that it defines you, that if you fail, you are a failure. But failure is an event, not an identity. It is something that happens, not something you are. The moment you stop taking it personally is the moment you can start using it as a tool. You can analyze it, extract its lessons, and apply them to your next attempt. The people who progress the fastest are not those who avoid mistakes, but those who make them, learn from them, and adjust quickly. Standing still has its own form of failure, one that is less obvious but far more costly. When you avoid action to protect yourself from embarrassment, rejection, or loss, you also protect yourself from the possibility of success. You choose certainty over potential, comfort over courage. And while you may avoid the sting of visible failure, you experience the slow, quiet failure of unrealized potential. You don't feel it all at once. It accumulates over time until one day you realize that nothing in your life has moved forward. It's important to see that failure is a form of progress precisely because it brings you closer to the truth. Every time something doesn't work, you eliminate one wrong path, making it easier to find the right one. Each obstacle you face forces you to become more resourceful, more disciplined, and more determined. These qualities compound over time, making you stronger in ways you couldn't have developed without those failed attempts. Success without failure is not only rare but fragile. It doesn't teach you how to endure, only how to enjoy the moment. There is also a psychological shift that happens when you embrace failure. The more you experience it, the less intimidating it becomes. What once felt like a devastating blow becomes a routine part of the process. You start to see it as feedback instead of defeat, as a necessary checkpoint on the road to your goals. This change in perspective frees you from the paralysis that keeps so many people trapped in inaction. Inaction might feel like it protects you from disappointment, but it also keeps you from joy, achievement, and personal evolution. The truth is, you will face difficulties whether you move forward or not. The difference is that when you move forward, those difficulties bring you closer to where you want to be. When you stand still, those difficulties still come, but they bring frustration, stagnation, and regret. Choosing to act, even at the risk of failure, is choosing movement over stagnation. It is saying that you would rather learn through experience than live in the illusion of safety. Failure can teach, shape, and prepare you in ways that standing still never will. It strips away illusions, exposes reality, and challenges you to rise above your current level. And while the lessons may come wrapped in disappointment, they are still the very tools that will carve out your eventual success. Your comfort zone isn't a safe zone. The world moves forward whether you do or not. Comfort zones are deceptive. They feel secure because they shield you from the unknown, but what they really do is keep you standing still while everything around you changes. The skills, habits, and knowledge that feel enough today may be outdated tomorrow. The opportunities you can reach from where you stand right now will not always be within arm's length. The people you know, the environment you live in, the trends that shape the world, they all keep moving with or without your participation. Staying in the same place is not the same as staying safe. It is slowly falling behind without realizing it. When you choose to stay inside your comfort zone, you are making an unconscious trade. You give up future progress in exchange for present ease. At first, it doesn't seem like much of a cost. You still have what you've always had, you still know what you've always known, and there's no immediate threat forcing you to change. But over time, the gap between where you are and where the world is going grows wider. A skill that once made you valuable may no longer be enough. A network that once supported you may have moved on to new challenges. The same habits that once maintained your life may now be holding it back. The problem with a comfort zone is that it's not fixed in place, it slowly shrinks. The longer you stay inside it, the more limited your world becomes. You start avoiding not just big risks, but small inconveniences. You shy away from anything unfamiliar, even if it could help you grow. And with each opportunity you turn down, your capacity to adapt weakens. Eventually, you're not just standing still. You're unprepared to handle change when it's forced upon you. The world doesn't pause for anyone. Technology evolves, industries shift, relationships change, economies rise and fall. Even your own life circumstances will transform over time, whether you're ready for them or not. Those who step outside their comfort zones regularly develop the resilience, resourcefulness, and flexibility to handle these changes. They have the confidence that comes from facing challenges before they are unavoidable. They can pivot, learn, and adapt because they have practiced doing it by choice, not just when life demanded it. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't have to mean reckless leaps into the unknown. It can be small, intentional steps that stretch your abilities. It might mean taking on a project you don't feel fully prepared for, learning a skill that intimidates you, or having a conversation you've been avoiding. These actions feel uncomfortable because they require you to operate without guarantees. But with every step, you expand the limits of what feels normal, and what once scared you becomes second nature. Avoiding discomfort might give you a sense of control, but it's a false sense. The control you think you have is really dependence on things staying the same. And because they never truly stay the same, that control eventually slips away. The irony is that real control comes from doing the uncomfortable work of growth, building skills, developing adaptability, and strengthening the mindset to handle uncertainty. When you step outside your comfort zone, you are not just preparing for change, you are creating it. You are taking an active role in shaping your future instead of waiting to see what future you get handed. You are signaling to yourself and to others that you are willing to evolve, to learn, and to meet challenges head on. That willingness attracts opportunities that comfort zones never will, because those opportunities exist on the edges of what you already know. The longer you stay in one place, the harder it becomes to leave it. The comfort zone has a way of convincing you that it's not worth the trouble, that you're fine where you are, that other people can take the risks while you watch from a safe distance. But this is a dangerous illusion, because no one stays exactly where they are. You are either moving forward or falling behind, and comfort zones only give the impression of standing still. In reality, the world is moving, and staying in place means being left behind in ways you won't always notice until it's too late. True security doesn't come from staying inside a shrinking bubble. It comes from expanding your capabilities so that you can handle whatever the future brings. It comes from choosing to grow before circumstances force you to. It comes from realizing that safety isn't found in the absence of change, but in your ability to navigate it. Every step you take outside your comfort zone makes you less dependent on things staying the same, and more capable of thriving no matter how they change.